All right, so this is all I know about the dream grind, the grind that came to me in my dreams, which is kind of funny because it did. I woke up in bed, and it was all spawned off of like getting rejected, doing the task grind, and then working off of that rejection hit instead of jumping, but actually taking the rejection. And then I was wondering, can I do it without damage and blah, 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 blah. So this is what I came up with. First, we'll see, Shiner, you may be a computer, but a computer can definitely menu faster than you. I want to see you do that, man. All right, so I'm going to play through the first round at real time. All right, so that was real time. This particular, I call it grind A. This one here costs you 0 magic and also gains just a very tiny little bit of life. Not very much at all. I think accumulates over like 6 or 7 grinds would allow you to take another panda hit. So it's not like it's going to gain you life in any way, but it's sustainable. And it takes 5.48 seconds. I won't go by how many frames, but that's how long it takes. So that is the first grind. Now I'll walk you through visually where we're at. So we come out of the town, we'll go frame by frame, run directly into the panda. Now when I run into the panda, he knocks you back, and we don't want to hit right directly now because it's actually going to keep us too far to the right. So you can see there's a couple, after being hit, there's what looks to be about 10 or 12 frames where I continue to go left before I hit right. And my visual cue is nose directly in the center of that archway. You can see that archway and the division there. Nose directly in center, that's perfect. You can be a little bit ahead of center, a little bit behind center, and it'll still work fine. This is my visual cue on where to stop. Continuing, the panda's going to come at you. Now, this is a timing thing. When we play through it real time, there is an audio cue here that you can use, but it's a feel. It's a pretty easy feel. You can see I started to swing right there, but what you're looking for is when you make contact with the panda and you're forcing him across the screen right there, the panda's hands are in the air. That is when you've done it correctly. It is a 3-frame window. I guessed it right this morning. You can tell there's the input right here. This is the frame that we do the input on. And if I do it right there, panda's hands come up. If I advance it 1 frame, that's the first frame we can do it at. If I advance it 1 frame farther, panda's hands are still in the air and we're still getting the hit. 1 more frame, panda's hands still in the air, but he started to turn at me a little bit. We're still getting the hit. If I advance it 1 frame farther, the panda actually hits me beforehand and I get rejected. So it is a 3-frame window, which is not really that bad. Being that you get a good visual cue for your stopping point. The stopping point doesn't matter as much. I think it matters more for consistency. If you stop a little bit early, I think you still swing at the same time because we're not going by position of you or position of panda, but the time in which he throws the deluge. So these can be either way, and you're still going to be pushing the button on the same frame, if I'm correct. I haven't tested that. We could test it by putting ourselves in a different, X value and see, and we still get the right frame there, right frame there, right frame there. Rejected. Yes. So, like I thought, it doesn't matter where you are standing or where the panda is standing. That input is going to be the same based off of when you enter the screen, as long as you have the same speed running into the panda, which it's all reset. That's the nice thing about this grind is there's no difference there. It's all consistent. Anyways, so there you go. You take the panda hit. Or sorry, you don't take the panda hit. You hit the panda. His arms are up in the air. There's his arms. You can hold, after you hit the button, you can hold directly forward. The next visual cue is as soon as your nose touches the pillar. Right in there, you're going to swing again. That's going to be a guaranteed double hit as well. That's going to force him all the way. This visual cue also not that important because no matter what, on this hit, you're going to force him all the way to the edge of the screen. And it's the next one that's important very, very slightly on whether you go faster or slower. This visual cue here where I stop doesn't have to be here. You can actually be inside of the pillar a little bit. You definitely want to be up to the pillar. You don't want to be outside of the pillar. So inside of the pillar is also acceptable. So if we actually took this hit and moved ourselves inside of the pillar a little bit, you're still going to get, see how your nose is kind of in the pillar, you're still going to get the double hit on him. That may affect your jump timing. So you can work with that, but the visual cue that I go off of is definitely your nose to the pillar. You make the hit. Immediately after that, you'll have to delay just a little bit. You can jump too early and jump up into the bat. So let me see if I mark this frame. If we were to jump when we gain access to jumping, which is going to be right there, if we jump as soon as we can, we're going to take the hit from the ghost. So you don't want to jump as soon as you can. You'll get a feel for it. And there's a window. You're still good. This is not very tight timing. So jump up, take your flub, and then when you land, this is where you can save small amounts of time, and that is encroaching on the panda out the door. And I encroach until, just like we would reset for the task grind, until my shoulder's hanging out. Right there. That is absolutely perfect. If you do it right here, if you go too far, you're going to take a bop from the panda. But if you do it right here, you'll get the third double hit. You'll hear it. Let's actually play it through. You get the third double hit. And if you're holding, as you hit the button, if you're holding forward after the double hit, you're going to be out the screen just about as fast as you possibly can. All right. I've went through it. We'll play it one more time. Let that sink in a little bit. From the top, enter, one cue, next cue, jump, crowd and go. I think we could crowd him a little bit more. Let's just test that real quick out of curiosity. So let's go right a little bit more and hit B a little bit later. Nope, we actually got hit there. So I hit B there. Nope, like I said, I thought that was about optimal. So you want to crowd him until your elbow's there, and you're killing him and grabbing the money as it's falling, and you're walking out. You can't really do that a whole lot faster. It looks like I may have been about a frame faster just by moving that B forward, which put this right input in the transition. So if you crowd, you're going to be faster. The closer you can get to the exit when you kill him, the better. The closer you get, the more chance you have of getting rejected. Now, the window to get the third double hit's pretty big. So if you jump and get the ghost, nudge forward a little bit, you're going to get that double hit, and you can be out the door, and it's not going to, I mean, you're talking maybe frames here. Now, if you don't nudge forward, you can take 2 stabs and go out, which is obviously quite a bit slower, but it still does the trick. All right. The next setup, we're all going to be off a little bit here because of that. I wonder if that's actually going to affect it. Maybe I should go back and put the stab back where it was. And I think it was just, the stab was there, I just wasn't holding right as much. Yeah, and you can see here, that should have taken me out the door. There, and now it's back exactly to where it needs to be. Right, we're out, we're back in. Okay, so here we're going to play through scenario number 2 at real time. Hopefully the game's not lagged down. Okay, there we go. We're going to do it one more time. When you change things in screen transitions, sometimes it can cause the game to act a little bit goofy. So this is sacrificing life. It's still no deluge, sacrifice life. This is 6/10, almost 7/10 of a second faster. It's 4.8 seconds. Come in, hit. Exact same visual cue. I actually copied and pasted the code. We're doing the exact same thing. It's a nice thing about this particular grind is that everything is so similar. Once you learn one, you kind of learn them all. There's only subtle differences. So in this case, I guess I was playing through at full speed. In this case, we're going to come out, take the hit, turn, stab, and then directly push him out the door with 3 double stabs. We're just not jumping for the ghost. One nice thing about this is we don't flirt with the ghost at all. You don't even have to be that fast. You're not going to get hit by the ghost. You're going to get out before the ghost. There's just no hesitation. When you come into the screen, go directly at him, take your bop, visual cue, same thing as before, same timing, same 3-frame window for that. But as soon as you hit or hold the strike button, you can start holding right. And then we're going to walk forward to that same visual cue, nose on the pillar, take our next hit, walk forward, same visual cue for the last hit out the door. Actually, I could be wrong. I think you can crowd it a little bit more on this one. I'm not positive. It looks like I did there. Either way, you're using that same middle of the archway, nose on the pillar, and then crowd him to the end. And that's it. The third one, this one is going to cost a little bit of life and a little bit of magic. And by a little bit, I mean 3 delusions. It's going to cost a lot of magic, but it's a lot faster. It's another 8/10 faster. It's only 4 seconds to do this, and it looks like this. The things that this change up, it changes the visual cue. It uses 3 deluges. It's a lot faster, but you also leave with walk speed. So this can be the fastest way, and I do believe that it's even a bit faster when you come back in to do it the next time. I don't have that tasked out, but mainly because if you see when we leave, we're actually killing him right here. And then from here, we're gaining this much walk speed going out the door. So that when we turn around and come back in, we're going to run into him even faster on the second time and gain some more walk speed. Yes, it's got a heavy cost because it costs 3 deluges, but like Shiner, you've talked about being able to do 1 deluge and still be a little bit faster. But with these strats, you're also sacrificing life. So the cost of 3 deluge here for the gain speed only costs 1 bop in life. Even if you were able to save a little bit of time, and you can, using 1 deluge each time, I've been able to use 1 deluge and save 2/10 of a second, which means it would take 4 reps to save the same 8/10, but it would also cost 4 hits. It's not worth it. Yes, this is a cost of a lot of magic, but at the end of your grind, you can throw in about 3 of these and sometimes 4 of these, depending on how much magic you want to have left. 3 is about the max I've found, and shave off 3 additional seconds, plus a little bit because of the walk speed. But the visual cue is just slightly different. We're going to walk into him, and then we're going to continue walking past him farther than we normally do, because we don't want to line ourselves up with our nose in the middle of the archway, but rather our nose on the right side of this pillar. You can see my nose is touching the right side of that green pillar. This is putting us in the perfect spot to hold up, and then we're going to... it's more of a timing. You mash, but if you mash too fast, you can't actually do this too fast. And you can see right here my B inputs. My B inputs are not as fast as you could. I mean, you could put B inputs every other frame, and it doesn't actually work. We want to have a consistent little delay in the B inputs, but that's 3 deluges, and you get a double stab in there, and it looks like boom. And then basically that's all you have to line up. This is the easiest part of this grind. You take a hit, walk past, line up your nose, which that's actually all dependent on where you stop. So the thing to remember is how far you're holding to the left. Turn around and then just evenly hold up and go bop, bop, bop. And you're going to get the 3 deluges and then hold right and out the door. Repeat it, come back in the other way. And because of walk speed, if I'm right, let's actually try something. It'll be interesting. If I'm right, we set a marker there. Let's copy this exactly. We actually set a marker here. We're going to grab what's in between the markers. We're going to copy it. Come back here. Play. All right, we're out the door, and we're going back in. And as soon as we gain again right here, we're going to paste that exact thing, but we're faster. So you can tell right there, because we're faster, look where our nose is. You know, we've moved farther. We came out of there with walk speed. So we'd actually be able to tell how much faster it is on the second grind. And it looks like it's not actually going to work. Nope, see, it doesn't actually work. So, but we should be exiting when this finishes. So 1614 should be our exit frame, because that's when we would exit on the other one. Let's rework where we need to be on this and see where our exit frame is. Hold left. We're going to actually want to start holding this right earlier, somewhere in here probably, to get the same... Oh, no, that's still too early. Hold right here, maybe. A little bit early. So it looks like we're only going to be a couple frames faster. There's our nose on the stone. And then I should be able to copy this. Set marker. Set marker. And we want to put this back up here. There it is. We're holding right, and we go out the door. Where? What? We go out the door later? All right, I'm not even gonna get into why that happened. That's weird. And I could be doing something wrong. I'm trying to... Oh, because of this extra in here. That's why. Yeah, we should be doing that. Okay, so we actually exit at 1613. And where was our... 1635 was our mark. So 13 to 35 is 22 frames, which is about a third of a second. So about 3/10 faster. So not 4 seconds, but doing this the second time through is 3.7-ish seconds. So this is by far the fastest way you can do that. And if you watch it, I mean, you're not going to get this grind any faster than this. 3.7 seconds at a cost of 3 deluges and a hit. My grind that we're doing right here allows you to do it if you do the beginning game good 3 times at the end, which is really cool. So the only things to be concerned about are when you get rejected. And I didn't task those out, but I could just pick them up on the console. So if I go like this, we get rid of that. And if I bring this up, I'll just run through what they look like. This is the actual NES, so I'm not on the emulator anymore. I was going to show these on the emulator with Shiner, and there was inputs there, Shiner, so you could see that. But I think this is better than, and I've got to flip my camera around, but this is better than showing the inputs, but actually going through everything really in depth with the tasks. So the first one is pop, turn, out the door. Actually didn't get the last double stab in there. I didn't encroach him enough. You see how I wasn't lined up at my... That was perfect there. But I was lined up a little bit forward. That doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm a little bit ahead of that mark. That's okay. It doesn't gain you time because no matter what, you're still at the end hitting him all the way to the door. So, like I said, it doesn't really matter. I could be farther. I could be back here. As long as your timing is correct, and then you push that guy to the door, you're fine. So that's the first one. The second one is the same timing, but we're just forcing him to the door. And then the third one is the mash to here. Mash, mash, mash. Oops, see, I mashed a little bit too fast or too slow. The timing of the mash is a little bit tricky, but you'll get it. I mean, it's not that bad. Bop, 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 out the door. So those are the 3. They're easy. I can just repeat them. If you get rejected, if you're timing your first double hit and you time it too late and you get rejected over, what do I do there? So if I time it too late, you're gonna double hit, jump kill. Oh, I took a tap there. So okay, we didn't get the timing. Boom, boom, double hit, jump kill, double hit out the door. If you do it fast enough, and I haven't worked with it as much as I have the actual strat. you're gonna save yourself. And I actually took 2 hits to get out the door. If you're too slow, he's gonna throw the deluge at you. But it's easy to tell if you miss it because you get rejected. It's like, oh crap, hurry up, and then get him out the door. Like I said, I haven't practiced the strat, but that's the backup strat for that. If you're too early with the swing, oops, that wasn't too early. If you're too early with the swing, he's gonna deluge at you. Boom, right there. And in this case, you need to walk up to him and then do a rising stab, similar to the stab that you do to kill the 3 ghosts outside of Forepaw to get the ointment. You're going to do a rising stab. That's going to hit him and the ghost, and then you double stab on your way out. I don't know if I can do it from here, so I'm just going to restart the save state. So if it's too early, boom, crap, early. Oh, you take a hit and then you walk into the rising stab. Sorry, I forgot. You got to take that hit. And that's what's going to happen. Nope, too early. Oh, that was perfect. The timing is hard to not get right. Got the timing right again. Too early, take a hit, rising stab, and out the door. And you can do a clean double stabs out the door. It's not even really that slow. So even the backups aren't bad. This one is always better. It's better to be early than late because the early one only costs you 1 life. Crap. It's hard to be bad. Take a tap, be early, take a hit, rising stab, out the door. So even that's pretty clean. Because you get the life, it only costs you the initial bump. With the other one, I think one of the other one's the same way, right? Because you get the life as well. Oh, we didn't take a hit. Boom, life, boom, boom. See, this one's a bit harder. You really have to be on your ball if you're too late. Double stab, jump, double stab, double stab. I missed the second double stab, but it's the same thing. So if you mess up, you're going to cost yourself a deluge and time. You really shouldn't. With a bit of practice, this grind is really pretty easy. Stab, stab, jump, stab. I had to do a double stab because I didn't crowd him enough. Stab, stab, jump, double stab, out. Oop. Stab, stab, jump, double stab, out. I mean, just repeat. Rinse and repeat. Double stab, out. Alright. We don't want life now. Stab, stab, out the door. This is where you could burn a little bit of life and save some time. Stab, 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 out the door. Alright, let's save a lot of time. Boom, and deluge. Out the door. Save a lot of time. Boom, and deluge. Out the door. And then before you know it, your grind's over. I should have just finished the grind off. But there it is. There is the dream grind or the slack grind, however you want to call it. It's not as fast as if you did the perfect task. If you do the perfect task grind, it's going to be faster than this. But I think that there's no reason for us to be using this for consistency's sake. Yes, you can maybe be a second or 2 faster, but it's going to take you 100 tries to get a perfect task grind. You're going to get 50% of the time you're going to do this one perfect. And perfect for this is going to be a 50-second grind. You'll do 5 grinds at A, 2 grinds at B where you take damage, and then 3 grinds at C where you're spamming that, and that's going to give you, actually that'll be like a 49, I think. Yeah, it's really cool. If you have any more questions, guys, I'm going to post this in Shiner's Faxanadu Discord. I think I'm actually going to stream this morning, so I don't have to upload it to YouTube. I'll just stream this quick, but I'm not sure. Like I said, have any more questions, just let me know. And there it is, the dream grind.